Hey guys, hope you're all doing exceptionally well. So week one of the challenge, and I'm really excited by the responses that I've got from everyone in regards to their goals. All right, everyone has slightly different goals, but the overriding effect has been that people are looking for a more healthy lifestyle, which is what we're all about. Okay, that 80-20 rule, people have indicated that they know that they feel better when they exercise more, when they're eating better, when they're doing things for themselves. Okay, the underlying comment through this for many people has been around weight loss or fat loss. Okay, if I lose a couple of kilos, that would be great. All right, as a kind of a bonus and a byproduct. And the reality is that to a certain extent, a healthy lifestyle will lead to sustained long-term fat loss. Okay, but what I wanted to do right now is I wanted to go through a few things that some people may find helpful, some might find it very confusing. So I want to kind of just break it down a little bit to give you a guide. If you have a goal of fat loss, okay, then this is how I would like you to look at it. All right. When it comes to whether it's fat loss, healthy lifestyle, better performance, the pillars of health all remain the same. Okay. Whole food nutrition, hydration, sleep for recovery, reducing stress and toxins, and regular movement. They're our 5 pillars. It's how we apply them that determines whether we will achieve our goals. All right. So for example, if you have a goal of getting stronger and fitter, if you're not moving enough, that's never going to happen. Okay. If you have a goal of weight loss, all right, if you're not looking at your nutrition, that's probably not going to happen either. If you have a goal of having more energy on a regular basis, then nutrition, exercise in conjunction with making sure you're getting enough sleep regularly, it's not going to happen. All right, so all these different pillars all play a different role, okay, but they're all equally as important. But today, I'm going to quickly talk about nutrition, okay? Specifically, I'm going to talk about fat loss. Now, some people indicate weight loss, and I would indicate that for the majority of people, we actually mean fat loss. I don't know anyone that wants to lose muscle, okay? If anything, for a lot of us, we need to be increasing our muscle, all right, to support us through what we do in the gym, what we do in life, and in later life, okay? Having enough skeletal muscle mass is really, really important. So it is really important that we do recognize that we're talking about fat loss here, not muscle loss, all right? So by now, hopefully you've had a body composition scan. If you haven't had one, then I do obviously recommend that you do. It's a great way to get heaps of information about your physical body, okay? And so that you can start to make changes where you need to, all right? So, from your body scan, from a fat percentage, a percentage of body fat, okay, for a female, what's considered a healthy range is 15 to 25%. For a male, it's 10 to 20%, okay? When it comes to fat loss, unless you have got individual specific goals that you want to hit, a healthy lifestyle revolves around having a body composition that is not negatively impacting your health, all right? So have a look at your body composition scan. Are you within those ranges? If you're not, then there might be some flow-on health effects that may come in down the track, okay? On your scan as well, all right, you're going to have this BMR, all right? Depending on your scan, it will be on the bottom left or bottom right, okay? But you're going to look for BMR, okay? It's generally down the bottom, all right? Your BMR is your base metabolic rate, and it's the number of calories your body requires to function. Now, everybody's body is different. My body, based on my composition, is going to be different to someone else's, and therefore my calorie requirements are going to be slightly different. There's also going to be a number there that's called your TDEE, your total daily energy expenditure. Now, this is the number of calories that your body requires to do everything that you want it to do during the day. So the Evolt is making some assumptions based on how active you are, all right? And these assumptions are based on your body composition, all right, about how many calories you need to get through the day, all right? When it comes to fat loss, guys, I don't want you to look at that number yet, all right? If you are someone that needs to look at how much you're eating, i.e. you're tracking through MyFitnessPal or other apps like that, okay, your BMR is a great place to start, all right? We can always work up, but working down makes the process a whole lot harder. So working up from your BMR is a really good place to go, because we know if you hit your BMR calories every day, then technically you should be losing body fat or weight, okay? So they're the two numbers you're going to look at from a calorie point of view. There's three simple principles that I want you to think about when it comes to fat loss, okay? Number one is you must be in a calorie deficit. You must be putting less fuel in your body than what your body actually requires, so that your body will start to eat into fat stores, and that's how you lose body fat, okay? So that's really important. Number two is we need to make sure we keep our protein intake up nice and high, all right? Protein, like I said, is the building blocks of your muscles, all right? We don't want to be losing muscle through this process, all right? We want to focus on fat loss as much as possible, all right? So keeping our protein up is really important. Protein also will keep you fuller for longer, all right? And it's important that we are having protein in almost every meal, and I'll break that down a little bit more. And the third one, and this is not for everyone, but what are you eating when, so that your performance in the gym, at work, wherever it may be, is not being hindered, all right? This is also something really, really important to remember, because, you know, you don't need to go to the gym to lose body weight, okay? To lose body fat, all right? You can be in a calorie deficit, high protein, right? And as long as you're in those two, you will lose body fat, okay? However, we know how valuable exercise is, and some of you have got performance goals. So, you know, it is really important that we do recognize what we eat when for performance. But on the flip side of that, the timing of what we eat when can also impact our fat stores, okay? Now, here's where it gets a little bit technical, all right? And I'm going to use myself as an example here. So I'm 80 kilos, or just over 80 kilos, and according to my last scan that I have a BMR of around 1,700 calories, all right? That's how many calories I need each and every day just to be. So if I want to lose body fat, that's the number that I want to hit, okay? I want everyone to be aiming to consume 1.5 to 2 grams of protein every day, okay? 1.5 to 2 grams of protein per kilo of body weight every single day. This is going to ensure that for you guys that are training regularly, that you have got the protein stores to help repair your muscles, okay? It's going to keep you fuller for longer, and it's also going to make sure it's using up quite a bit of your daily calorie intake. Right? The problem with Western diets is very high processed carbohydrates. We want to flip that. If you look at athletes, okay, if you talk to some of the guys around the gym, okay, they will tell you that high protein, they're eating, you know, a fair bit of chicken as an example, all right, each and every day. And I'll give you some simple guides in regards to that in a minute too. So that means for me, I need to be consuming between 120 to 160 grams of protein every single day. Now, to give you an idea, a regular protein shake has between 30 and 40 grams of protein. So I need to consume 3 of those, all right, minimum on a daily basis, plus whatever I'm getting from food if I wanted to hit that. As an example, I could do it more with food, all right, you know, through whether it's plant-based protein or animal-based protein, doesn't matter, eggs, fish, chicken, legumes, those kind of things. For those that are on a plant-based diet, one of the more difficult things with this is that a lot of high protein plants, okay, some of them also, like your legumes, all right, are also high in carbohydrates at the same time. So, you know, it is really important that you're getting the right mix of what you need. So that means that I'm going to use 640 calories because it's 4 calories per gram of protein every single day. That leaves me just over 1,000 calories in fats and carbs to consume throughout the day. Okay, now, and how I break those down, whether it's 500 grams of fat, 500 grams of carbs, all right, it doesn't matter too much, but I will tell you this: everybody's body is different and everybody's body will react differently. Some people prefer high fat, low carb. Some people respond better to high fat, low carb, all right? If you have intolerances to things like gluten or you're a celiac, then you know you want to be avoiding that kind of stuff. So maybe you need to be looking at more of a high fat, low carb diet, you know, ketogenic to a certain extent. Ketogenic gets a really bad name, but if you do it properly, it is really just healthy eating. Okay, it gets a bad name from the media and from processed food companies that are trying to sell their product. So keep that in mind. Okay. So your carb sources. Carbs are your fuel. Veggies, whole grains, fruit. All right. Now, I wanted to tell you a little bit about how I eat because that might give you some ideas around what you're going to do. Okay, so on a regular day, if I am training first thing in the morning, okay, so getting up, going to the gym like many of you guys do, all right, I won't eat anything before the gym. I will take my multivitamin, my whole food concentrates, all right, and then I hit the gym, okay, and then I train. When I get back, that is when I will have my high carb meal, all right? So that will generally, for me, it'll be something like protein oats, where I'll get some ancient grains, some Uncle Toby oats, all right? I will add almond milk, heat it up like normal porridge, especially in these cold days, all right? I will add in a scoop of protein, so I'm getting my protein as well, all right? And then I might add some berries for antioxidants and that kind of thing, all right? I'm eating to repair the damage that has been done during the exercise, bringing back my energy stores so that I can then go to work, all right? I want to make sure I'm not having too much, all right? Because if I have too much, all right, and I'm going to the office to sit down, all right, whatever I don't put back in my cells, I'll end up storing as fat, all right? So I want to make sure that I am watching my portion, all right? But it will be a high carb scenario. Mid-morning, all right, morning tea time, I will hit a protein shake. I might have a piece of fruit, all right, depending on how I'm feeling. Fruit has sugar in it, all right. Fruit is like your sugars of your carb world, of your natural carb world. So if I feel like I need a little bit of energy, I might have some fruit, okay. I'll make sure I have water and I'll have a coffee as well, all right, mid-morning, all right. Then lunchtime will come around. All right, and lunchtime is going to be meat and salad, salad and meat and veg, protein and vegetables, whatever it may be. All right, it's going to be fairly low carb because I'm sitting at the office. I'm not doing a lot. I don't need a lot. All right, but it's going to be high nutrition value. So lots of nutrients, not a lot of carbohydrates. All right, but still getting my protein in. Afternoon, depending on how I'm feeling, again, if I'm hitting that 3 o'clock slump, might have some fruit, depending on where I'm at and what I've got access to, might have a protein bar, whatever it may be, okay? Might have a protein shake to make sure I'm getting my protein, all right? And then that night, again, it'll be meat and veg, meat and salad, or something along those lines, or some form of protein. We do meat-free nights every now and then as well, okay? But what I will probably do is I will probably have a slow release carbohydrate, you know, something starchy like, you know, some roast potatoes or some roast sweet potato. Not because my body needs it, all right, for there and then, but that slow release carbohydrates while I'm sleeping, okay, is going to help me have some fuel for my morning workout the next morning. So if I'm training the next morning, I'll have those starchy vegetables. If I'm not training, then I won't, because I won't need them, all right? So that's really important. That's where this timing comes into things, all right? So if I want to perform well in the gym, all right, early in the morning, I'm not going to eat before I go to the gym, otherwise, whoop, all right? I'll make sure I have something in my system slow release from the night before, okay? It's the same when, if I'm not training, I'm not going to eat it, because if I don't use it, I'm going to store it as body fat, all right? So if I've got a goal of fat loss, what I eat when is really important, okay? That gives you a little bit of an idea. Now remember, guys, healthy lifestyle, okay? 80-20 rule. 80% not so good. Oh, sorry, 80% good, 20% not so good. Now, 20% not so good does not mean you go off the rails, all right? It just means you might have something a little bit high carb. You might just feel like it. You might have, I mean, people have got different weaknesses, but you might have a Freddo frog after dinner. Who cares? Unless you're doing it every night and it's become habitual, that's when we have a problem. And if you can't break that habit, that's when we need to start to look at things, okay? When it comes to nutrition, there's two things you want to look at. There's phase 1 and phase 2, okay? There's no point focusing on this, all right, calories, etc., if you haven't been through phase 1. Phase 1 is all about looking at what you're eating, cutting out the crap as much as you can, all right, increasing your veggie content, increasing your whole food consumption. And veggie, when I talk veggies, I'm talking about green leafy vegetables, all right? I'm not talking about your starchy carbohydrates all the time, your root vegetables. They're great, all right, when you need them, all right? They're not when you don't need them, okay? Really important, all right? You might make a stir fry with just loads of veggies and some protein and some nuts. You don't need to put the rice in, okay, as an example, or the noodles, all right? Increase your whole food consumption. Change when you eat things. I'll put some information in the group in regards to anytime foods and post-workout foods, all right, which is really helpful, all right, and increase your water consumption. Have a big glass of water with every meal. Once you've done that, or if you're doing that, then we can look at phase 2. Phase 2 is portion, all right, and calorie control, okay? My recommendation for a lot of you is, if you are at this point, okay, cutting down your portion is critical, all right? When it comes to having a calorie deficit, all right, and losing weight, all right, as long as you're in a deficit, technically it doesn't matter when you eat it. As long as you're in a deficit, you will lose weight. However, to function in life, to function at the gym, to be a good parent, to do whatever, a good employee, to do whatever you need to do, you need a constant drip feed of fuel. So my recommendation is that you look at having 5 meals throughout the day. Don't think of them as breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack 1, snack, morning tea, afternoon tea. It's meal 1, meal 2, meal 3, meal 4, meal 5. What does it matter if you want to have eggs for dinner? It doesn't. If you need to get your protein up and it's dinner time, what are you going to do if you haven't had enough protein that day, all right? Don't think of foods as breakfast foods, lunch foods, dinner foods, snack foods, all right? It's what you need to eat to hit your certain numbers, to hit your portion, all right? To hit your protein, all right? And to make sure you're in that calorie range, all right? So please keep that in mind, all right? Really, really important. Going back to this BMR, if you find that you're hitting your BMR every day for a week, you're losing weight, but you're feeling really sluggish, then up it a little bit. Or let's look at what you're eating when, okay? Bananas are a great source if you train in the evening, all right? Before you hit the gym, okay? That could be like your afternoon snack, all right? Or meal 4, all right? You might have a banana and a protein shake, all right? Because that's gonna give you the fuel for your workout. It's not gonna be extremely high in calories, all right? Protein shake's probably gonna be around the 120 mark, all right? And a banana, maybe another 100, maybe 150. So what are we hitting? We're hitting 270 calories, all right, for a snack, all right? So nothing too crazy because you're about to go to the gym, okay? But if you're someone that trains at night, you need to then be very conscious of what you have for dinner because you're gonna go to sleep, all right? and you're not training first thing in the morning. So that's when you might have your protein and your salad, all right? As much as it might make you feel, I'm feel a little bit sluggish, make sure you've got plenty of water, all right? You're going to bed, so you're gonna recover during your sleep. And then you're gonna eat throughout the day and you'll be ready for your evening workout. So guys, that's a little bit of information for you around nutrition, portion, fat loss, all right? Working out your protein requirements, all right? If you have got any questions, please hit me up, all right? And I'll make sure that I get to you and answer them. See you later, bye.